Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. On today's menu is a chicken curry made with fresh green herbs. You will be amazed how such an incredibly delicious dish gets done so quickly and people will just love having it. Heat about 3 tablespoons of oil over medium-high heat. I love adding a tablespoon of ghee, but you can make it only with oil, or a combination of oil and butter also goes very well. Once the oil turns little hot but not smoking hot, add 3 green cardamoms, a small cinnamon stick, and about half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Let the seeds sizzle and crackle, and then add finely chopped onions along with 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Fry the onions on medium heat. You do not need to brown the onions at all for this recipe because that will change and destroy the beautiful green color of the gravy. So fry the onions till they just start getting pale with a little bit of golden tinge around the edges. This is how they should look. Next in line are 2 teaspoons of finely grated garlic and a teaspoon of finely grated ginger. Stir for a minute on medium heat so that the raw smell of ginger and garlic goes away. Then lower the heat to low and add only half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of chili powder, and 2 teaspoons of ground coriander, that is dhania powder. Fry the spices on low heat for a few seconds. Always add less of turmeric and chili powder for this particular recipe, as again we are doing all this so that the green color of the gravy stays pronounced. Adding too much of turmeric will make the curry yellow, but little bit of turmeric powder will make the green color look brighter. Next the chicken goes in. I am using boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You can also use chicken with bones, but then it will take longer time to cook. Fry the chicken on medium-high heat. Now here I would like to mention that if you are using chicken with bones, more water will be released compared to boneless chicken. You need to fry till all the water released from the chicken dries up. If you are making a large batch, use a large pot. Always remember the size of your pot should be larger than the amount of chicken taken, or else it will take a long time for all that water to dry up and the chicken will be boiling in that water and won't get fried with the masala. See that oil being released? It means the chicken has got well fried. If you are using boneless chicken, then that oil will be released faster than if you are cooking chicken with bones. After you see that oil coming out, add salt. I also like adding half a teaspoon of sugar to balance the flavors, but sugar is always optional. Now cover it on low heat for about 12 minutes. Next we will be making the green puree. Here I had soaked about 6 cashew nuts in hot water for about half an hour. Please leave it out if you're allergic to nuts. It will still turn out to be very delicious without nuts, just trust me. Next here are the greens. This recipe calls for coriander leaves, mint, and green chillies. I am growing these chillies. They look huge but they have 0 heat in them. This little one has a lot of heat, so I am using just 1. Now my husband doesn't like too much of mint flavor, so I take less of mint compared to coriander leaves, and I also include fresh basil because my husband loves the flavor of basil. So please add whatever herbs you like. You can also add the greens of green onions. I don't believe in things like you can't add this or that is never added. It is your kitchen, my friends. So please do whatever you feel will be relished by you or your family. Okay, now everything enters the blender jar. Next you need 1/3 of a cup of plain unflavored yogurt. If you are allergic to dairy, you can use coconut milk or any plant-based yogurt. Discard the water in which you had soaked the cashew nuts and add them. Then I add about 2 ice cubes. They help in keeping everything green, so I always add ice cubes nowadays whenever I puree green herbs. Now all you need to do is blend them to a fine, smooth paste. And look at this smooth green beauty. Let's see what's happening in the pot. The chicken is almost 80% done. Next, the green puree tumbles down to paint up the dish. I added 2 tablespoons of water to the blender jar to get all that green goodness to the last drop. But please do not add too much water because this recipe does not call for any water to be added. After you add the green puree, please do not cook it on high heat, as that will destroy the color and flavor of the gravy. Always keep on low heat. Now cover on low heat for about 8 to 10 minutes. Remember my friends, the cooking time will be more if you are using chicken with bones. And add the green puree when the chicken gets about 80% done. Some of you ask me that how do I know the chicken is fully cooked? When you can easily break a piece using a fork, that means it is fork tender and it has got cooked. Do a taste test at this point and adjust the seasonings if required. Then add half a teaspoon of freshly crushed black pepper. After doing a taste test, if you feel the gravy is already very spicy, then please do not add the black pepper. Then just half a teaspoon of garam masala powder. Do not add too much of garam masala because garam masala powder has a strong smell and that will shadow off the smell of those fresh herbs. I also added a fourth of a cup of half and half. You can also add 2 to 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, or you can leave them out as well. It will still be very delicious. Now cover on low heat for 2 to 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, you are done. Sometimes kasuri methi is also added, but I feel the smell of kasuri methi is too strong for this dish. I add some more of fresh coriander leaves instead. The herbs bring in such a freshness to this dish. And that sauce or gravy, whatever you may like calling it, it has this subtle herbiness and creaminess and freshness which makes this dish irresistibly delicious. When serving, I like to drizzle some chili oil on top along with dry red chillies, but you do not need to do all that. Please give me a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. Bye bye.